My name is Dylan Meneses, and in today's lesson, we're going to be taking a peek into STEM. Um, Today's focus will be on computer programming using HTML. So before we get started, I want to share with you my goal. My goal is to enlighten young minds like yourselves to go into the world and use your creativity and knowledge to create something that helps you, a family member, and the world uh, to become a better person or place. Um, I think it's important to dive a little into the history of computer programming, something a little not we're not going to dive too deep into it, but something just a little a couple notes. So the first ever computer language was designed in the early 1950s, and we went from having rooms and rooms full of computer equipment, like the picture shown on the left. We were able to compute simple problems on these, but now we can do those same simple problems on our phones, which is kind of insane. Um, so we're going to get um, right into the different types of elements and tags that you're going to be using to program. You write your own code to basically create your website. Um, so on the left here, I just listed a couple of important ones and basic ones. Like the first one, the exclamation point doc type HTML, essentially just is the most important one because every document must start with this element declaration to sort of let the program you're using know that you're going to be doing HTML basically. So um, the next one is HTML, which defines a root of an HTML document. The body is also an important one because, for example, on the right, um, this is like a short um, example of how your code should kind of look like in HTML. So the body, whatever you have inside the body, um, for example, like your heading in your paragraph, has to be inside the body so that when you open up a tab on whatever search engine you're using, um, it knows what to display um, on from here. And then the next two, like I said previously, this is your first heading and then your paragraph. So anything inside the P is where you're going to be writing your paragraph. So whether it's like a short bio or um, anything about yourself, um, notes on whatever video you're taking, or whatever, or you want or something you want to share, everything has to go in the P, basically. And at the bottom here and on the right, you'll see that some elements have a forward slash, and that's to let the program know that you're finished using that element. And so it'll show in the next slide. Uh, we'll see more of this and kind of in action. So you kind of get the right idea on how to really use this. Um, so before you start, just make sure you have the correct program that you would like to use. So, um, for example, I listed four different ones. I'm going to go over each one. Um, the first one, Notepad. This is something that most computers have already within the computer. If you don't already have this, you can always download it through like the website. This is the simplest program you could use. It's just like a white screen, um, and you can do the same thing as on the right, but um, I personally don't like it only because it's at least for like the one on the right. The program on the right that I was using was Sublime. That's why it's bolded in black because each element or tag is color coded to a certain thing. These are all in like a pinkish color to and it lets you know what you know where you are in the code or the line. So if you're using a different thing, which we're not going to get into today in today's lesson, but if let's say for example you want to write or you want to add an email address or like a picture, the elements or the tag might be in a different color, like a yellow or a green. So it lets you know what you've added and where everything is. Visual Code is more of an advanced program. Um, so I kind of just added to this in case you enjoyed doing the code and the programming. That's something that I kind of recommend you download. And then W3 Schools is probably the best website you can go on right now. It teaches you a lot of things. It goes over the different elements in more detail. So and other additional elements that I don't have in this that we're not going over today. But it gives you brief and detailed explanations on how to use it, where to use it, and yeah. So remember, take your time and be creative. There's no need to rush through this. If you really don't know what you're looking for, or you don't know like how to set everything up, you can always copy this, and then just add your own, or change the different title, your headings, your paragraph, and whatnot. Okay. So in this slide, we're gonna be. I'm showing you how to kind of project your program onto like a tab on your search engine. So when you're on like the program like in before, so when you have this open and you're ready to have it on the tab on your search engine, if you're using a mouse, right click it once, or if you're on a laptop, use them double click on the mouse pad, and the little menu should come up. And you want to hover over to where it says open in browser, and it will open up whatever default search engine you're using, and it will kind of display what you have, what you wrote on your program. Some quick tips: if you're using, if you want to save the program, you can always do just Command S, or you can also go up on the top left. You'll see File, and then Save. The same thing basically. And if you add anything else after saving, just refresh the tab using like the search engine tab using Command R, and anything that you added recently after you saved should just automatically show. Um, and I made a little screen recording kind of going over this. So like I said, right click, open browser. It'll open up a new tab. And on the right, you see this is your first heading, um, your title, sorry. It'll change it here if you end up making any changes. That's your first heading, well, to my web page. And then I kind of just highlighted the rest to quickly show where everything is. So um, if you didn't already catch on to what this kind of looks like, it's more of a HTML is more used more for like structural purposes. Um, this is somewhat clean in my opinion, but you can always change it. The Anything that's in gray are just comments, so the program doesn't read this. It kind of just forgets about this. It ignores it, and you can write any notes on each line, or write several sentences on one particular line to explain or to show what and why you're using it. So thank you for listening to this lesson. I can't wait to see what you create. Thank you.